Hi, it's Britt and Jess, and this is another episode of Basic Banter for Witches.
Every week, we dive into topics that resonate with us on our spiritual journey. Enjoy!
Hello. How is everybody doing today? When I tell you I have had a struggle to try and record this because I'm out of sorts a little bit. I'm doing a solo episode. Hi, by the way, it's Jessica. Brittany is camping and the Wi-Fi is just not good enough for us to do a joint episode. So you get me. Um, Anyways, when your brain is just not computing, that's kind of where I'm feeling right now. So anywho, welcome back. Hope you've been good. This is moving into August 24th. Holy toots, where did the year go? Summer's over, which is, I'm not complaining. I know, I'm a Grinch. I like a thief of joy. I don't like the heat though, so not like Ireland has been hot by any means, but I am ready for the change of season. I think I'm about done. Like anything, when you kind of hit that point, you're just kind of done. Anywho, so yeah, so you're stuck with me. Brittany's getting her last camping trip in, and I'm just at work and doing my thing, getting ready for kids to start school. Oh my god. Oh my god, I can't even believe it. I've got the two kiddos right, and they start school this coming week. Literally in a week from now, I'll have a preschooler and a kindergartner is kind of the easy way to put it, but it'd be called junior infants here in Ireland. So it's it's gonna be a whole different world, a whole different ball game come next year or come next week. So, anyways, I have an idea of what I want to talk about today, and I literally have recorded half of the episode already, but I just what, it does not feel right. It just doesn't feel right. You just can't. I just can't put that into the world. So I'm just gonna not vamp a little bit, but we're just gonna kind of see where it goes. I feel like those are my better episodes anyways, and yeah. So I'll definitely mention what I was thinking and what I was wanting to talk about, but yeah, like I said, I'm just kind of in a spot where why not just be authentic? I'm much better and easier to navigate that way. So anyways, welcome back. Yeah. These days, sorry, I've got a bit of a cold still. I shouldn't even say sorry anymore. It's been 40 episodes and I still have a cold. So um yeah, I'm just kind of fed up with that myself. I've trusted my medical professionals and I still do. It's just really, it gets to be exhausting when you're just sick all the time and there's no relief and you could take this, but you can't for too long. And then you have to gotta not detox or, yeah. So if anybody's got any recommendations, I will gladly hear you. I'm going to not a naturopath right now. Oh, sorry, naturopath? No, I've done naturopath, and truthfully, it was just way too expensive. It was just way too expensive. I didn't see any relief at all from it. It was like anything, you have to peel back the layer, but it was so freaking expensive that I'm not in a position to put myself into that kind of debt for myself when I have kids and this and the other thing, like everything else, right? That is life. But I started seeing a homeopath in April. I started seeing him, and so far so good. Same thing. It's you have to peel back every layer and kind of treat it as it comes. So I'm on a certain remedy this time, and I guess again I didn't. I have nothing to lose at this point. I've done everything else. So, anyways, if there's anything else anybody can recommend, let me know. I'm actually desperate for relief in this instance. So, um, yeah, let's work together, team. You guys can help me out. Yeah. So a couple things I wanted to talk about a bit today is I'm such a goofball. See, this is where Brittany comes in handy because I'm yo, Britt, I haven't told you some things. Here's my things. But I I've been obsessed with youth. Not vanity. Not vanity. I don't I should say I don't care how I look, but I do to a capacity, but it's not it's more how does one stay youthful? What are the key tricks? And that's, believe me, don't Google that because it's stupid. Of course, oh, you mean diet and exercise. Oh yeah, and self-care and meditation. Yeah, no shit it does, which I felt really stupid about. But anyways, it's the but when you're tired all the time and this, that, and again, it comes down to illness. It's oh God, when you're so desperate for youth, it's what at one point are you okay with aging? So I'm only 33, and some days I feel like I'm a 90-year-old, but I do feel internally I'm forever 26 or 27, maybe 28. But yeah, that's the deal there, guys. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know how long this episode's going to be, but thanks for tuning in. Anywho, the other thing, the bigger thing that I wanted to talk about today, which I like literally have like a good few pages of notes, and like I said, like I recorded it already, but I just was like, no, it doesn't sound authentic. It doesn't sound like me. So we're gonna do it again, and I'm gonna talk to you because that's what I want to do. I want to talk to you about this. I guess like it's not serious, guys. Like calm down. When I was talking with Christopher Warnock a few episodes ago, regarding Renaissance astrology, he had mentioned the term spiritual seekers. Now, ever since he said it, I've definitely felt like a connection to that term. And at first I'm like, okay, like there's got to be something that I can, research in this area and like what it could mean. And I did find some references here. There's 4 different types of spiritual seekers. So that's what I'm going to break down for you today, just to kind of, I don't know, kind of see what it's about. By all means, I may butcher some of like one of the quotes here, but yeah, let's dig in. Let's get started. So the term spiritual seekers, and I guess this like connection to this specific things that I'll be talking about today, comes from is it the Bhagavad Gita? So this is an older book. I guess everybody should be reading it. It sounds like that's like the main thing to do. The Bhagavad Gita is often referred to as the Gita, is a 700 verse Hindu scripture. It is dated to the second half of the first millennium BCE. The actual name, like Bhagavad Gita, means God's song. And from my understanding, now I have not read it. It follows a few different characters and their lessons through spiritual teachings and mentorship. So within there, you're going to see a lot of different lessons. But the one specifically today we are going to talk about is the type of spiritual seekers. So I'm just going to, oopsie daisy, I'm just going to flip back to my notes here. This has a lot to tie with spiritual psychology. So for those who are interested in that, like I said, I think I'm gonna have to add it to my must reads book, because why not, right? I find myself, thinking I'm a spiritual seeker in some capacity. I think we all are, especially with the podcast. I do feel like that's part of our drive is this kind of department. So why not? So the first one, it's called the distressed. So the distressed. Now, the full term of what I got here is like somebody who's obviously suffering, somebody who's in a state of loss, something that we've all experienced. So that could be like a loss of, a loved one, loss of love, a loss of a job opportunity, loss of any opportunity, loss of money. It could be like just the state of feeling lost. Essentially, it's kind of like any a point of discomfort, right? So at what point do we turn to, the divine or God and ask why, and seeking some sort of answers? Now, this is kind of relative to that like painful loop of of seeking out something because we think it's going to cure the problem, right? It's think it's going to be like, oh well, if I, just met my dream partner, today, and then all of my problems would be solved, right? And when it doesn't, then we're seeking out the next thing. So part of this specific one is understanding the need for X, what we're seeking and why, right? And that part of it is, we are living in a state of suffering, and as long as we are living, that's like I said, that is part of human nature. Is will always be suffering, and sometimes that can give us a belief that there isn't a God, because why would we be suffering if there isn't a God? Now, this is this feels because like we're alone in our suffering, and that's not necessarily what it is. It's a feeling of abandonment and a need to reconnect. So with this, I mean, the drive would be to seek out, the divine, or that higher knowledge, and higher wisdom to to kind of help soothe that. And I think that kind of helps us kind of jump into the next one as well. So I feel like all of these are pretty much connected. But the second one in this chapter, this series, would be the seeker of knowledge. So somebody who wants to know. This is where I feel like I am. I feel like I'm like constantly wanting to ingest every bit of information I can, which is so hypocritical of my like youthfulness, as I just talked about earlier. Because in my youth I could give a shit. Did not give two shits, I had nothing. Nope, I didn't care. And it's not that I didn't care about anything. It was just I focused on what I thought was important at the time. And now, of course, I don't live with regret because I didn't. I mean, of course, everything happens like it happens at the same time that it needs to, right? So I've come to know that, but I want to know more. I want to know everything. So this person, this kind of role of being the seeker of knowledge is understanding that life is not meaningless and there has to be an answer. And it's like forever looking for that answer. It's the want to know the truth. So that's kind of where I feel like I am. I don't know. I feel like a lot of us are in that chapter, especially if you're in the podcast world like us, like, or if you're listening to the podcast as well. It seems to be like a reoccurring, like, but why, but why, but why? So that's kind of my touch on that. The third one is called The Seeker of Worldly Possessions. Now, this one I kind of had conflicting views with because obviously I don't, I'm not like one to have a lot of things and like show off a lot of things. But on one side, you get people who say on Instagram or whatever, and they're like showing you the life that you could have if you had all of this extra income or whatever to buy or this or that or the other thing. And life is so amazing because I have more things. And now on that same note, yes, to have a lot of things, there's two ways to use it. One is to use it for what the betterment of how you look on the outside. The second would be to help not enhance our spiritual journey, but use as tools to help, define our bigger picture. So this is to like how to aid in our spiritual growth and how to find, well, sorry, how to aid in our spiritual growth and aid in our spiritual journey. So again, this is kind of coming to that point of outer appearance cannot be everything. It's not about having more than the next guy. It's about getting as much out of we can out of this physical world to help aid in our spiritual development. Okay, the fourth one is those situated in wisdom, meaning anybody who is essentially already enlightened. So I know we have that we've been talking about like the awakening of everybody and whatnot, and being awake is fantastic, but it's about staying awake and working those muscles to maintain that relationship with the spiritual side. Now, as humans, like we're always going to have the ego. We're always going to have, it's like the devil's advocate. We've got to have like one foot on the ground to keep us like rooted in this world that we're in. We can't float away into the next one, right? So as long as we're living, we will have a body and we have to take care of it, right? So that is exactly how it is. But then also it's understanding that, we still have to feed ourselves. We still need pleasure. We still have to pay bills. So we need to find a way to sit in alignment and enlightenment while also navigating this as like a human person and like with our human selves. So this can come with like obviously a little bit of tension as well as navigating that fine line because I feel like I'm not there yet, but I mean obviously it's a reality of for a lot of people. Knowing the difference between wisdom and knowledge is a big thing as well. The guidance here is wisdom is pure knowing. Sorry, my cold is popping up there, but it's knowing and knowing confidently, right? Um, when it comes to things that you are so confident and you can't explain why, it's like, again, it's like I'm not scared because I know, right? I know that in this life I will experience everything I want to. I could dream it all out now. I don't know how it's going to work out, but I know it will. And it's coming to that, matter of factness about life. Yeah. So this kind of takes away like the fear. This is like that's I think part of it is again it's like sitting and easing into the knowing of I'm not afraid because I know it's going to happen. So this is again it's all from the Gita, chapter 7 verse 16, spiritual psychology, and I'm gonna read a little excerpt here. Da 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 da, where did it go, where did it go? Again, this is from chapter 7 verse 16. So there are four types of spiritual seekers. They are the people that try to approach me, meaning that they worship me and they seek my wisdom. So this is again like somebody who's seeking God or seeking like a religious base, but again, it's like the seeking. This is the spiritual seekers in many different platforms. I don't even know if that's going to make any sense to anybody. Um, Again, some days I just think like, what the hell am I even doing here? But but yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. That's where I'm feeling right now. Is I feel like I'm on everybody's on their own spiritual journey. I feel so bitter. And I'll be honest with you, and I've talked with Brittany about this. I've had like a really weird year in terms of my spiritual connection and faith and feeling connected and feeling grounded. But sometimes I'm like, what are we even doing here? Jamie, where is it going? What's the point? Uh, and I know, like, again, like, this is that knowing is like, I don't know, but I just feel like feels like we're supposed to do it. So we're here. And I hope it comes across like the right person's ears. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Just in case you thought we thought it all, or just in case you thought we know it all, we don't. We don't know what we're doing, and we're just on the ride as well, right? We're still on our own little seeker journey. I'm going to do a quick little shuffle here, and I'll get ready to pull some cards. I pulled a couple decks today, so we're going to do the Oracle of the Roses as well as the Animal Spirit deck. Okay, guys, so I just did a little shuffle there. I did not feel like shuffling and holding a microphone, and I just couldn't do that today. So, anyways, so the first one I'm doing is from the Oracle of the Roses. And actually, I'm just gonna look. Sherilyn Darcy is the one for that one. So let's see here. Okay, number 32 is called the Advocate. The oracle meaning for this is time for teamwork. Enlist the help of others and a little bit of fact finding. By all means, speak up, but brush up on your communication skills by pausing to listen until you are certain that your message will be taken in the right context and be as effective as possible. If you are stuck, then you need to reevaluate your commitments. The Advocate is dedicated to change for the greater good, and they will create a life that revolves around this. Those in their sphere are thought of as team and family members, working with them in all sorts of capacities for the shared vision. So, a little, I guess, exploration question for you is what motivates you? The meanings and uses for this is commitment, friendship, communication, meditation, and persuasion. Okay, and the next one I have, which is from the Animal Spirit Guidebook. And now that's written by Kim Kranz. It's my favorite, as you know, if you've been here before. So I pulled the raccoon card. So the raccoon means talented, shadowy, in hiding. Raccoon energy is at play within all artists, to greater or lesser degrees. At best, it indicates talent, tenacity, and skillfulness with a particular musical instrument or creative tool. Its shadow side points us to unresolved issues around self-image and success. Sometimes using a stage name or wearing a mask works in an artist's favor. Other times, it limits creativity. Am I who my audience thinks I am? What if I am ready to grow into something more? Raccoon energy won't let us off the hook until this creative ego fear is resolved. When we're in balance, we are generous friends, exceptional artists. When we're out of balance, we may be competitive or see ourselves as a starving artist. To bring into balance, make new work. So, kind of digging into, you know, the unknown a bit there. I won't lie, guys. I definitely resonate with both of those cards in very different manners. Both of which I think is good because I like when spirit calls me on my shit. Like, I think it's important to remember that like nobody knows everything in this lifetime. And, again, we're spiritual seekers and we are always, we're looking for more. So that's what I'm doing. Anyways, so yeah, that's my episode. Hope you liked it. Dudes, if you stuck around, like, I mean, like, it was a really long episode. I've done longer. Like, I remember the last time I did this, I was like sitting by myself, chatting away, for like 40 minutes. So you're getting off like pretty good here with like a 20-minute episode. So anyways, I hope all that resonated with you guys. Just a reminder, we are going to be doing some free readings, and there is the Google form. It is on I think it's on our link tree on our Instagram, but it's definitely on the show notes. If you go into like click on that, there should be a Google link there. The link is also available on our YouTube channel, as well as there's another place. I can't remember where it is. I don't know. Anyways, just reach out to us. We'd gladly send you the link to do that. We'll be doing our monthly card pull probably next week, I think, at the end of the month here. So get them in. It's free. And all you have to do is tune in for the answers. That's it. Absolutely. We'd love to help. We'd love to kind of give you some insight if you need it. So otherwise, you can find us on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Basic Banter for Witches, or you can come to us on email if you got any questions. basicbanterforwitches@gmail.com. Oh yeah, and we're on, I was gonna say Tinder. We're definitely not on Tinder. On Reddit. Come join me. Help me figure it out. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyways, yeah. Thanks for coming. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you had fun. I will be honest, I had a lot of struggles, and I've already like looked at all the edits I've made, and I never edit our like duo episodes because they're usually like good, but today I'm like, girl, I don't get it. What's going on? So my brain's a little foggy. But anyways, I love you. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for coming to see me. I don't even know if I'm gonna put that in the thing. You know what? I'm just gonna keep it a surprise. When you turn it on, you're just gonna be like, what the fuck? It's a Jess episode? It is. Anyways, yeah. Love to you all, and we'll talk to you next week.